I heard someone say these are the two best teams since January 1st, 2025, so I had to verify that. And that's absolutely true. Oklahoma City Thunder are 53-13 since January 1st, number one team in the league, obviously in many ways. And the Pacers are 46-16 since January 1st. And of course, that includes the playoffs as well. So yes, we have the two best teams in the NBA Finals, and that's all we can ask for. I don't care about the small market versus big market argument at all. If you're a basketball purist, you like NBA playoffs, you're going to love this matchup. Speaking of matchups, here's the marquee matchup right here. SGA versus Halliburton. I just want to say the 2025 playoffs have been full of amazing guard play. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, SGA, Halliburton, Anthony Edwards. So I'm very excited these two players are going to face off in the NBA Finals. Let's not forget their number twos though. J-Dub and Spicy P, Pascal Siakam and Jalen Williams. SGA was the Western Conference Finals MVP and Pascal Siakam was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And 3 of these 4 players were all-stars this year. Who was left out? The most overrated player in the NBA, Tyrese Halliburton. I say that sarcastically because obviously he's not overrated at all. He's an amazing player who's hit some amazing shots in these playoffs. He should have been an all-star this year, no doubt. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I like to look at the offensive rating and the defense rating of both teams, both home and away. And this is what we have in this series. The Thunder at home have a 121.2 offensive rating, number 1 in the NBA, and a 104.7 defensive rating, also number 1 in the NBA. In fact, the 16.5 is the gap here between these two. That's the net rating, and that is by far the best home net rating for any team in the NBA. Check out the Pacers over here on the road. 114.2 for offensive rating. That's just barely above the league average. That's the blue dotted line is the league average. And 114.6 for the defensive rating. That means they give up more points than the average team on the road. But the data here includes every single game played this season, all the regular season and the playoff games. If we just look at the games since January 1st, as I mentioned earlier, then this is what we would have. The Thunder offense rating actually increases. The defense rating is about the same. This is now an 18.0 net rating. Over here on the road, the Pacers have a 116.4 offensive rating, so it's actually increased since January 1st, and a 113.6 just below the league average defensive rating. So they have improved here, but this gap is not nearly as impressive, obviously, as the Thunder at home. What about the pace? We know the Pacers like to play at a fast pace, and that's what they're known for, but the Thunder are actually even faster. The Thunder in the regular season had 100.9 pace. That is number of possessions per game. That's number 5 in the league. The Pacers are not too far behind at 100.8. That was number 7 in the league. In the playoffs, the Thunder have 100.6, which is number 2 for each team in the playoffs. And the Pacers have a 98.4, which is number 3. Now, the pace down here in playoffs has a lot to do with the teams they played. The Thunder, of course, have played the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, and Timberwolves. All 3 of those teams are fast-paced. Over here, the Pacers have played the Bucks, the Cavaliers, and the Knicks. The Knicks are a slower-paced team, but the other 2 are kind of faster-paced. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the pace looks like in this series. So it looks like the Thunder have all the advantages here. Let's look at one that I think might be in the Pacers' favor, and that's the coaching. Rick Carlisle, 65 years old, has been a head coach in the NBA for 24 seasons. His record is 33-38 in the playoffs, but he also has an NBA championship under his belt in 2010-2011 with the Dallas Mavericks. On the other side, we have Mark Daigneault. He's only 40 years old. He's been an NBA head coach for 5 seasons, but he's 18-8 so far in the playoffs. So I'm not sure about the advantage here as far as coaching goes, but obviously Rick Carlisle has experience as an NBA champion head coach. Let's get to the model and see what the predictions are for tonight's game. These are the stats I mentioned in previous slides. Again, number 1 offensive rating, number 1 defense rating for the Thunder at home. The model thinks the Thunder are going to win 121-104 for a 225 total, negative 16.7 spread, and 96% chance to win the game. The FanDuel line this afternoon has the Thunder as 9.5-point favorites, negative 450 on the money line, and 230 total. The model picks the Thunder to cover a 9.5-point spread, and that's going to be my first best bet. Now, 230 for the total. The model says 225. Pacers have gotten up to fast starts. They've won game 1 in both Cleveland and New York. But I think this defensive rating for the Thunder at home is going to be too much for them. So I think the Pacers are going to struggle to score points in this first game. I think the Thunder will have a big lead in the fourth quarter and will probably throttle it down a little bit. So I'm also going to bet the under 230. So these are my 2 best bets. Hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait for game 1 to start tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Good luck in your best bets. Let's go.